Hello, I am Dr. Chinnarao, newly appointed in this organizations. I am a professor in this CSE department. So today I want to discuss about the compiler design. Compiler design is a part of our JNTU curriculum for third year CSE. So here the first in the compiler design, the first module is actually first of all what is the compiler design? The compiler design is basically it is a core subject. Okay, nearly 4 to 6 questions asked in GATE examination also. So that's why this is very important subject in your curriculum, and it is also used for GATE examinations. Okay, so in this mainly the main purpose is this subject mainly to develop a language. By using this subject to develop a language. So first of all we are basically in programming language we are writing in high level language. Okay, system can't understand the high level language, so that is converted into machine level language, that is called a low level language. So low level language understand by the machines, but our language that means high level language can't understand the system. So by using this process is done by the actually using language processor. So the first topic in our syllabus, language processor, this is the first module in our syllabus. So first of all I want to discuss about the language processor. So what is the language processor? Language processor, first of all it is very easy subjects, don't confuse. For suppose if you are having any doubt, please ask me in interaction session. So here first I want to discuss about the language processor. Language processor is an important component of programming. Okay, language processor is an important component of programming. So first of all before discussing language processor, so what is the computer? Computer is a mix of hardware and software. So what is the hardware, what is the software? So for suppose in the system there is no hardware, is it working? Not working. For suppose without software it is not working. So it is a mix of computer made hardware and software. So we are writing the programs in high level language. And machine converts the system converts the low level language, that is called assembly language. So this process is done by the language processor. Okay, for suppose if we are writing the programs, these programs are fed into a series of tools and OS components that can get the desired code, that can get the desired code that is used by the machine. So this process is nothing but language processor. This process, what is the definition for a language processor? The first, we are writing the programs. These programs are fed into a series of tools and OS components that can get the desired code that is used by the machine or system. This is called language processor definitions. So here basically language processor is an important component of programming. So a large number of systems, software and applications programs require structured input. Here operating systems, databases, and also it is used for software quality assurance and software testing. So what is the motivation for this language process? Wherever input has a structure, one can think of language processing. And why studies compilers? Okay, first of all what is the definition of compiler? The compiler is it converts the source program and so that converts the source program into object program. What is the source program? Source program is a user program that is called high level. That program is high level language. It will convert it into low level language that is called assembly language. So that is called compiler. Compilers use the whole spectrum of language processing technology. Compilers use the whole spectrum of language processing technology. What is the expectation? Okay, what is the expectations of language processing? So what will we learn in the course? What will we learn in the course, and what do we expect to achieve by the end of the course? Okay, so mainly by the end of the course we can get the knowledge from the programming language, and how to design the programming language, how to develop the programming language, and understanding the programming language, and modify or enhance and maintain compilers for programming languages. So, and also confidence to use language processing technology for software development. Be confident to use language processing technology for software development. Bit of history. So how are programming languages implemented? So previously I discussed. Okay, it is a series of tools and OS components that can get the code, that can get the desired code, that is called a target code, that is used by the machine, that is the language processing. So here mainly what are the components are used, we are discussing later. So here how are programming languages implemented? There are two major strategies. The one is interpreters, compilers. Okay, interpreters, compilers. What is the interpreters and what is the compiler? Interpreter is also translator. Interpreter is a translator. Compiler is also translators. So what is the difference between compilers and interpreters? Interpreters are used to interpreter execute the program statement by statement. It is used for executing the statement by statement and show the result. That means to check the statement, to check the program statement by statement. Okay, but compiler, whole program is executed at a time. Okay, but interpreter only execute the statement by statement. Here compiler, whole program at a time, whole program execution. That is the difference. So these are the software components. Interpreter is a software program, and also compiler is a software program. So some environments provide both interpreter and compilers, like Lisp. Lisp is also programming language, and basically interpreter for development and compiler for deployment. Interpreter for development and compiler for deployment. So here C is a compiler but not interpreter. Okay, for suppose if you are writing the program in C language, after completion of your program, then after completion of your program, then you can execute at a time. It will shows the errors. There are two types of errors occurred: syntax error and semantic error. But interpreter, for suppose if you are writing one line, then you can execute. You can check that statement. Is there for suppose some print some statement, we are writing some statement, then directly you can check that statement, but that is not possible in compiler. Okay, so here Java is a compiler come interpreter, but C is only compiler. Okay, Java compiler come interpreter. And also the big picture, mainly in our concepts we are used compilers. Okay, mainly compiler. So here the compiler is a part of program development environment. Okay, the other typical components of this environment are editor, assembler. Like these are the components previously discussed. What are the components here? Editor, assembler, linker, loader, debugger. Okay, the compiler and all other tools must support each other for easy program development. The first of all, these are the software these are the OS components. Basically these are the tools. And previously I told you the definition for language processing. So here we are discussing what are the components are involved in language processing system. So the first component, preprocessor. The first component, preprocessor. So what is the preprocessor? Okay, takes the input from the user. Preprocessor is nothing but basically it is a software program, takes the input from the user and the output, okay, takes the input from the user and generates the output, that is called source program, and that output is input to the compiler. So mainly it is a, simply says it is a phase. Phase means it is a takes the data and transmit to the compiler. Okay, transmit to the output of the preprocessor as an input to the compiler. So this compiler, okay, what is the compiler? Already I told you. So compiler is simply high level language is converted into low level language. Low level language is nothing but assembly language. Okay, low level language is nothing but assembly language. What is the assembly language? Already you know, microprocessor in microprocessor system, in the micropro 80 like 8085, 8086, the by using that microprocessor, so we are writing the program like move a comma d, move a comma b, example. So move a comma b is a assembly language. Move is a opcode, a comma b is a operands. This is the example I said. So this is the assembly language. So mainly the compiler takes the input, takes the source language, takes the data from the preprocessor, that is called source program, that will convert it into object code, that is called assembly language. So this assembly language, okay, assembly language. So by using assembler is used for convert the assembly language into machine language. So what is the machine language? Low level language, that is called binary language. Okay, that is called binary language. So here generates the output as a assembly language, and assembler converts the assembly language into machine language, that is called binary language. What is the binary language? Like what is the binary data? Like 0 or 1. This is called binary data. So here another, this is also software program, this is also software program, and assembler is also software program. Okay, linker, here next tool, this is a tool, editor or a preprocessor is a tool, compiler is a software tool, and assembler is a tool. So here next tool, linker. Okay, what is the linker? Linker is also software program. This linker is used for links all the parts of the machine language program. Okay, all the parts of program, to link all the parts of the program. Okay, or to link all the object files, all the object files of the program. Okay, there are two types of linkers. In the linker, there are two types are used in this linker. The one is linkage editor. Okay, one is linkage editor, and another one is dynamic dynamic linker. So to collect the at a time to collect the all the to link the all the data. So the mainly the main purpose of linker is to link all the parts of data, and the output is after linking the files, linking the program and send to the loader. What is the function of loader? The main function of loader takes the data from the linker and load into memory, in particular memory. Okay, here there are three types of loading concepts are here. One is absolute loading, another one is relocatable loading, and third one is dynamic runtime loading. Okay, there are three types of loading concepts are there in the loader. The first one is absolute loading, and the second one is relocatable loading, and third one is dynamic runtime loading. So the main concept is simply loader is a software program, takes the data from the linker and load the program into memory. There are three types of loading concepts, already I told you. One is absolute loading, complete to load the complete program, that is called absolute loading. Relocatable loading. Relocatable means, for suppose if you are load some program into particular locations, and for suppose if it is if you want to delete that program, then we can load another program in that particular locations, that is called relocatable. And runtime, next one is dynamic runtime loading. So you can dynamically load in any particular locations. Okay, that is called, there are three concepts are introduced in this loading. So after loading program will execute. Okay, after loading program will execute. So before loading can't execute the program. Okay, can't execute the program. After loading program will execute. Okay, after execution of the program. Okay, here after execution of the program, so check the errors. After execution of the program, display some errors. Okay, what type of errors? Either syntax error or semantic errors. What is the syntax error? Syntax error means structural errors. Okay, semantic errors means logical errors. There are two types of errors occurred in this execution. So debugger is a software. Debugger is a software program. It removes the bugs or removes the errors by using debugger. So after completion of the loading concepts, program will execute and it shows the errors. These errors are removed by the debugger. Okay, these errors are removed by the debugger. So debugger is a software program. Okay, after removing the bugs, and then programmer does manual correction of the code to deliver the debugging results, and again programmer does manual correction of the code. Okay, this process is nothing but simply language processing system. Our module is language processors. Entirely, for suppose if you are asking question in JNTU examination, final examinations, so the mainly you have to draw this diagram and explain each one. Okay, these are the tools and components of the language processing system. Okay, language processing system. Suppose if they are asking in the previous in the final examinations what is the language processor, and explain what are the explain the components of language processor. So they are asking like that. So this is the concepts. Okay, briefly, once again briefly I explaining what is the language processing. Okay, language processing. What is the language processing system? Language processing system, we are writing a programs. These programs are fed into a series of tools and OS components that can get the desired code that is used by the machine or system. This is called a language processor. So in this processor we are using several tools. What are the tools are here? So like preprocessor editor, compiler, assembler, linker, loader, debugger. Okay, these are the major components of language processor system. Okay, next class I will tell the next module. So if you are having any doubts, okay, I can explain in interaction session. Okay, so I'm using I'm preparing slides by using this textbook. Okay, most of the text in the slide is based on classic test compiler, main compilers, principal techniques and tools. Alfred, these are the others. We have Yahoo, Monicol, S. Lam and Rossetti, Jeffrey, D. Waldman, second edition, Pearson 2007. Okay, thank you.